An inquiry question is a high-level thinking question that you will answer with your research. The most important thing to remember is to always be thinking about the answer. The great thing about the guided inquiry process is that rather than your teacher deciding your research topic, you get to write an inquiry question based on your own interests. There are 3 different types of inquiry questions, and some of them we like better than others. Let's practice writing level 1, 2, and 3 questions. Level 1 questions ask who, where, and when questions. They're easy to answer with a quick Google search, and they really only require a few words to answer. Here are some example Level 1 questions. Who was George Washington's wife? Where was George Washington born? When did George Washington die? I bet you could answer any one of these really easily. Level 1 questions might start with something like, what is, when did, which one, how many, or who was. When we answer Level 1 questions, we name, identify, define, list, or select. We never use Level 1 questions as inquiry questions. They're too simple and too boring. Think you understand Level 1 questions? Great! Let's move on. Level 2 questions ask how, what, and why. They're still pretty easy to answer with a quick Google search, but the answers require more words than Level 1 questions. Some examples of Level 2 questions might be, how did George Washington compare to Thomas Jefferson? Or, how did George Washington help win the war? These are a little more complex, but I bet you could still easily find the answer using Google. Level 2 questions might ask something like, what happened? How did they compare? How are they related? When we answer Level 2 questions, we explain, compare, analyze, reason, or sequence. Sometimes it's okay to use a Level 2 question as an inquiry question, but most of the time, we'd rather you use a Level 3 question. Think you understand Level 2 questions? Great! Let's move on. Level 3 questions require you to think critically. You'll need multiple resources to answer a Level 3 question, and the answer will require you to draw your own conclusions. Level 3 questions might start with something like, what evidence? What can we infer? Or if, then. When we answer Level 3 questions, we evaluate, predict, judge, forecast, or claim. Some examples of Level 3 questions include, how did George Washington impact the development of the United States government? Or, what can we tell about George Washington's character based on his actions? To answer these questions, you're going to have to think critically and use multiple resources. Level 3 questions are always great for inquiry questions. We love these kind of questions. Let's review the 3 kinds of questions. Level 1 questions are the simplest, they're easy to answer, and they only require a few words. Level 2 questions are more complex, but they're still pretty easy to answer. Level 3 questions require you to think critically, and their answers are pretty complex.
Created using Powtoon.